Hey, thanks for tuning in to 10 TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel with a global reach. And thanks for tuning in to Out of Bounds. I'm your host, T Rex, and we got Darla and Andrea with us today. How you ladies doing? Y'all
Doing
doing
well.
Fabulous.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Well, tonight we're going to talk about some social events and everything just going to be off the cuff, so you can say basically whatever you want. Our first topic is going to be right off the bat. We're missing three people. They all had some type of emergency to go out of town or flying somewhere. So, best wishes to all three of those, and especially the big guy at home with the sick baby. Hope everything gets well. Tonight we're going to start off talking about Deion Sanders. When he not much as him, but what was said about him leaving Jackson State, and then right into the next thing. So my question is, I don't know if you guys read up on it, so I'll just basically put it out, and y'all can tell me what you think of it. So Dion came in for 4 years. He did three, and well, really two and a half, and he moved on to a bigger school. And the thing I'm not worried about the inner and all that because I'll tell you as we get going, I'll break that down to you. But I think that what was surprising to me was all the bad backlash she got back from the black community, and especially what the president of the university said, at Jackson State said, "I hope he fails." So my question to you guys is, why is why do we have to? Why did they think Dion owed Jackson State something? So we'll start with you, daughter, since you're on top. What you think about that?
Um, I don't know why they think he owes them something. I am personally like, Dion, do what you got to do. He was there for 3 years of a 4 year
Hmm.
contract, and he made good on all those 3 years plus the fourth year. He didn't. It's a contract. It's a business agreement. I keep saying he's not a slave. He's a grown man with
That
a
is so.
business and a life and a family. And potentially, he did so much for that school. And potentially, this fourth year, I don't know what else more he might have added that people think that he should be there to do. But with what he's going to make at his new job and with his new salary, he could potentially do more monetarily through donations to this
Yeah,
school. So he's
that's
done a
true.
lot, and quite frankly, my position is strong. Is not a slave.
That is very true. I agree with you 300%. All right, Andrea.
Do what
Same
you got to do,
question, then we'll
Dion.
go to another one.
Yeah, I agree with Darla as well. Oh, why are we trying to prevent him from having his own success, right? Like he was successful in the NFL. I believe he played baseball or something, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
why are we trying to prevent him from making additional career moves? If this was anybody else, you or I, nobody would be mad that I'm leaving one organization going to another for more money, right? He did all he could do or wanted to do, as far as I'm concerned, for Jackson State.
Oh,
So it's time to move on, go make more money. More people are talking about Jackson State, right? So if this is about
yes.
dollars, those alumni are giving back. People who never heard of it are buying sports jerseys, and probably were looking to send their kids there to Jackson State just because of
Hmm.
Dion. HBCUs probably weren't on the map or being looked at like this prior to Dion. So we do need to be thanking him for something versus criticizing his move.
Agreed.
I agree with you also. I just think that what they were doing with the negativity, it flowed right off into the local black community, which he helped. I mean, he brought light to the city of Jackson's water problem. He got Armor All to help build the stadium and outfit the people. I mean, the sports people. And then the most important thing that I think he did he was a spokesman, and he got more people interested. I mean, you start many times. I don't know if you guys. I'm pretty sure y'all do. I've been in sport, watching sports with you guys. That he brought Game Day, ESPN to Jackson. Never at any
Hmm.
black school that has ever done. He brought that kind of attention to that, and now they're getting better kids coming in, even not just for football, but all the sports there are getting better people coming in. And I think he did more for Jackson State than he should have, because in his contract, supposedly, I didn't read it, I'm just gonna say what I was told, that he up to $30,000. I'm sorry, 30,000 people in the stands was their money. Then after the $30,000 up to 60,000, he would get a percentage of that, and they never paid him that. So with that being said, back to you, Darla. You was in that situation. Wouldn't you feel a little kind of let down if they didn't pay you? I don't care if it was three people over 30,000. You still should have paid him if it was in his contract. Go ahead, Darla.
Yeah, I agree with you, Terry. I think that's it's a contract. It's a matter of business. Now, having said that, however, I don't believe the reason that Deion Cole went to this particular school was to make money. Okay, um,
That is
I
true.
don't think that was his problem. His goal. Now, I don't know Deion Sanders, but I think that with that understanding that he probably went knowing the good and the benefit that he could bring to a HBCU, he's done all of that. He's done all the things that we've just discussed, plus more. Being a coach, um, I'm sure he did many more things that were not publicized just because he's Deion Sanders. I'm thinking about all the pictures he had to take with everybody and their
Mhm.
mama and all, just because he's Deion Sanders. He probably did
Right. Right.
so many more things. So I said it before. I will say it again. Dion is not a slave. I hope Dion Sanders, Dion Cole, and the Dion that liked me in the seventh grade are all making money. Okay, get the money. They should. And if you're operating with integrity, you should. And I believe that he operated with integrity, and he demonstrated that beyond and above the role that he is hired for. He did so many more things than he had to in order to make benefit for that school. Why are we talking about this and not who was the guy that stole money so for his daughter's
Oh,
volleyball?
Brett
Why are we
Favre.
talking about
Yeah,
that?
Brett
Why are we
Favre.
talking about the
Mhm.
state of Mississippi right now? Yeah. Why are we talking about this? Dean didn't do
Well,
anything wrong.
Right.
I just think
Yes,
that,
but I know why we're talking
yeah,
about it, but why is the world talking about this? It's ridiculous.
I have no idea. I was just wondering why it was such a big backlash on the the being black and betraying black people, because he left the school behind and go someplace else. I don't see where that's it. Like you said, it's part of the contract, and we're all supposed to be professionals. If you're working in that arena, you are a professional, so you don't have to really worry about where you're going next. 'Cause you're always interviewing for your next job.
Well, he
So, Darla,
doesn't
I
owe
just got one.
anybody
Go ahead.
anything. He only owes an explanation or an obligation to his family.
Hmm?
he
Oh yeah, he
doesn't.
gave half his salary back to the university. Right, he gave half his salary back to the university. He brought all the contracts in for everybody to get uniforms, not just the football team, volleyball team, and everything, without, like Darla said, stealing money from Mississippi to do. He did it the right way. And I just think they should be happy for him, because he brought the light that, and that's the most important. Football sports is great, and that's the avenue to get people to watch. But he brought attention to the university, to the SWAC, and to all other HBCs, so that they could understand what this was about, because so many kids had no idea what a black college was. I mean, they had no idea what it was. I mean, you can sit there and say Spelman. They might know Spelman. They might know what's the Morehouse.
Howard. Hmm.
Or
The rest of them,
Howard, yeah.
yeah, or Howard. They
That's
don't
right.
know about the Gramblin's, about the North Carolina. What was that? Was Carolina Central? They don't know about none of those schools. They don't know nothing about them. So now that they have a platform, they even got a bowl game. What more? That's Dion. That's not what you was doing before. And so I just think that they should give Dion a break. And the reason why I started with Dion was there was a football player back in 2016, 17 that took a knee in a game, and got really criticized and ridiculed and hated and booted out of the NFL because he took a knee for police and justice. And then in 2020, Roger Goodell, who is the commissioner of the NFL, came and did a little thing for him saying, he was right. We should have listened, blah, 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 but they still blackballed him. And this is Colin Kaepernick. I know he was a good football player, but I'm asking you ladies, what do you believe? Is he a better advocate for what he's done and what he's done for social justice? Or do you think should he stay back and try to, not take a knee and not stand up for use his platform for good? That's basically it. What do you think, Andrea?
I personally don't know Colin as a football player. I only know Colin as social justice. And so the things that I've seen him do in the community, I actually watched his documentary on Netflix. I think it was around this time last year. That's who I know of Colin, of his the work he's done in the community, the service he's done. You guys all know we're all D9, he's D9. So I see him more in that avenue. I can't attest to his talent on the football field, but I appreciate the things that he's done to put the things that are happening in the Black community on the map. Because, look who's watching those games. Millionaires, who the owners and people who desire to, who have a heart for football. And by him taking that stance, he just opened the playing field, so to speak, to let people know what is actually occurring in the Black community.
That is true. I mean, I'm not going to say anything else. Darling, give us your opinion. I'm sorry. I'll wait till you get done.
Oh, I mean, I'm similar to what Dreas just said. I agree. I don't know a whole lot about his football career. I didn't even know who he was until he took that knee and all the hoopla. I didn't understand the backlash. I understand where people were coming from, those who were saying that it's disrespectful to who we are as a country. I kind of could see why they had an opinion, but I don't agree with it. I think that the backlash is because he was standing up for Black people. For some reason, people want to be bent out of shape when it comes to Black people.
Yeah.
Other cultures take a stand in a lot of different ways. But if we try to elevate ourselves, a lot of times there's what I would call unwarranted backlash. And that's what I think happened with Colin Kaepernick. Lost his Nike contract, I believe, and
Mhm.
all,
Yeah.
I just don't like, I didn't
Burning
get that.
burning shoes. Well, just for the viewers that don't know, and you guys, I'll give you a little background. Kaepernick played quarterback for the University of Nevada in Reno, and then he was drafted into the NFL into San Francisco. Uh, I had the pleasure of watching him get indoctrinated into our fraternity. I don't know the young man. I just saw him. He was just one of the tall guys in there. But when he made his social justice stand, he just didn't sacrifice his career. He sacrificed his lifestyle. And I agree. He was a good quarterback. I mean, he could have went to the Super Bowl maybe 3 or 4 more times. The team was that good, but they got rid of him. He went once and lost, and then they back to the playoffs a couple of times, and they got rid of him. But the thing I wanted to say about injustice is the bad thing about injustice is that every time that someone stands up, i.e., LeBron James said, he wants Black lives to do this or whatever, and the white media came in telling him to shut up and play basketball. So I'm gonna do a station, and I'm gonna come back, and then I'm gonna give you guys why I brought these two topics together, and then I give you that, and then you guys can tell me, because I think you're gonna enjoy it when I say it. But anyway, hey, thanks for tuning in to TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach. We're watching Out of Bounds with T-Rex and the ladies, the good-looking ladies. Anyway, so why I brought this up was Deion did something and Black people hate. Colin Kaepernick did something and white people hated him. So my question to the ladies right here, right now is just, I don't expect you to be in a football junkie or Black Lives Matter junkie. I just expect your own personal opinion because we were all live doing all that happened. I want to know is why black people got behind Kaepernick and get behind Deion, and white people hated them both. So, ladies, feel free to just chime in and tell me why you should, your opinion on the black Deion or the black for Kaepernick or the white for Deion because they want him in Colorado and the black on Kaepernick. Whatever you say, go ahead. It's on you.
Well, I think for Dion, for Black people, we feel like we're losing something. We feel like we kindly made it to the top, and you're taking this from us. So Black people are like, no, not him. He's our savior for football in Jackson and Mississippi. We need this. It's bringing so much money to the economy, this and that. But when it was Colin, we had his back because we needed a new generational spokesperson, right? Like, especially for my generation, I'm in my 30s. We don't have anybody right now that was speaking on behalf of us, somebody that was relatable. And because he was an athlete, also he's relatable because people enjoy sports and things of that nature. So we needed him. We needed that celebrity status to speak for us. And then Dion became our celebrity status until he got promoted by the man or the white man. Now he's going to a PWI institute, but we want to hold him hostage to the Black Institute. We want to remember a few weeks ago we were talking about buying black and keeping our own black dollars
Yeah.
in our own black community. So Dion is our black dollars. Now we're taking our black dollars out of our community.
That's good. That's
That's
good,
a very
Drea.
good analogy on that one. All right, Dollar, you got to follow up on that one, girl. I'm waiting on you.
Yeah, that's super difficult to follow up on because I agree with everything that Miss Drea just said. I think that it's the root cause is rooted in what she was saying. Like we feel like we're losing something, and even more so, we feel like we're losing something that's owed to us. And so we feel like he should
Right.
be doing that. He should be doing these things, and while he was doing what it's kind of human behavior. While he was doing what we collectively wanted him to do, everything was good and plenty. But now that he's not, people want to be upset. And this is Deion Sanders I'm talking about. Colin Kaepernick, on the other hand,
I understand.
he was Colin Kaepernick, and then he stepped into that role of doing what we would hope he would do. And then others came against him. And so we want to stand up for that because he's doing what we want him to do. We want to protect that interest, that collective interest. But I don't know, when you break everything down to its most basic premise, both of them just had decisions that they made as individuals. How we respond to it doesn't necessarily have a whole lot of depth as a community on either topic. Why are we doing either thing? Why are we not paying attention to the other things that are going on around, right? Like, why are we not paying attention to all
Right.
of the other things that are happening in Mississippi right now? We want to focus
Mhm,
on Deion Sanders, even when he was there,
mhm.
promoting football. These people don't have clean water to drink.
Absolutely. And we
That's
mad that
true.
he's got a
And
new
we're
job.
talking about that because they didn't have food. Yeah. They didn't have food. They bought at the university.
Right.
So, and
So I
the reason
am
why I
at a
brought,
loss. Yeah, I'm at a loss for that part of it.
well, I look at it this way, and I'm just going to say it. Uh, you ladies hit it both on like the nail on the head when you both said that, with Dion and Colin, the black community was behind them because he was doing something for them. The white community was against them for doing something, except for Dion because he was doing something for them. But the whole bottom line on the whole thing is that Colin brought social justice to the front line, and people like ourselves and other people, ordinary people, we will call ourselves, that had run-ins with the police that still survived. So we didn't all just die at the hands of the police because, unfortunately, the world saw George Floyd. And that was very sad. But if they'd have, just hindsight being 50-50, if they'd have went back and said, hey, instead of ridiculing him, and because the white media and white people said it was about the flag. He never said it was about the flag. They just didn't want to listen. So the whole thing that I'm trying to say is that America is so divided that we don't understand what's right or what's wrong. Argue about something that's irrelevant. Everybody gets a job to do what? To get promotion, to make more money. In Deion's case, some guy said that he already got 29 million. Well, I mean, nobody told Elon Musk to quit because he already got a couple billion. He just kept on going, right? So I don't think it should be a standard for us. But then on the same note, when Kaepernick said that and all the players in the NBA and NFL start doing it, they were making comments. I mean, the former president called him, you know what? He should fire those SOBs right away or let them come back on. I like to see their face then, because I understand one thing about America, and America's like this. As long as you're quiet and you're making good money, you'll survive. If you push the envelope for something that is unjust, the murders and the Michael Browns and the Trayvon, what's the little boy's name? Trayvon Martin, is that his name? All those people that lost their lives for no reason at all other than hatred. And just watching all the social events that happen, when you sit there looking at the police, how they handled the St. Louis incident with Mike Brown, they had snipers, armed guards, and everything. Then you flip to January 6th, and there's nobody there. They didn't care. I'm not saying that that we should dislike people of other races. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying this is America. We all need to be Americans, not leaving us someplace where we cannot function because of my pigment of my skin or someone else's skin or the way they want it. Anything that separates people should be the reason that makes us strong, because that's why everybody came here. Some came on the bottom of the boat. Some came on the top of the boat, but we're all here.
And that's the dysfunction of America. That's the true dysfunction of America, is that we all have different Americas. The Black America is different from the white America, different from the billionaire America. We all live here, but we all live in different segments of societies because that's the way we've created it here.
That is true.
I really appreciate that perspective, Drea. We all have different Americas. That could be a whole nother movement or a book or a TV show. I really can feel that statement just by itself. And it's unfortunate. I mean, everybody's entitled to a different perspective, but the disparity between people's lifestyles, I think, is kind of what we're arguing at topic, that we're not speaking to that directly right now, but there's a big disparity between how some people live versus how some others live within this one country. So I hear what you're saying in that statement, Drea. And that is quite unfortunate that some people are living, just well below the poverty level while other people are bathing, in champagne. It's not okay. It's not okay.
That is very true. And I agree with both of you ladies. But I think that, just to get off topic for a second, we give so much, we being America, not me, I don't give billions. If I had billions of dollars, we'd probably be in Bahamas somewhere doing something we ain't supposed to be doing. But anyway, we give a ton of money away to these countries, Ukraine and so forth and so on. And I'm not saying we shouldn't, but we got Americans right here that should be given, homeless veterans, homeless people, period. Minimum wage. If we save some of that money, that billions of dollars we send away to other countries, we could just take care of it and build, some type of cover for these people, some type of home, not a tent, not a mobile home, but some kind of building where they can feel safe and secure so that they can be productive members in in this social structure. We pay taxes, but we don't get our money's worth. That's the problem. That's what's wrong with the American system. The poor people pay in, and we don't get enough left. Well, I'm sorry, ladies. I talk so much. We got 5 minutes left. That's what the producer said. So I'm going to say this. What do you have to say, Arla, about coming up next month? Do you have anything to put out about what's coming up next month? Yes, January something. You got something coming up for
January's
January?
coming, so there's going to be a lot of things happening with MLK Day, like in this particular area. I know there's a walk happening in Riverside. My sorority, my chapter, Inland Valley Alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta will be participating in the MLK Day walk, and we will be making contributions to our community as we do on the regular. So that's super important to me that we benefit the communities that in which we live and work. And so that's one thing that will be coming up next month. We additionally are doing a book club, which you can find on Eventbrite, and we'll be reviewing Viola Davis's new book, Finding Me. So we'll be Finding Me in 2023, and you're welcome to join us. So you could go on Eventbrite and
you'll find dollar in
that up.
2023. It's nothing's happening on J13th.
Yeah.
J19th.
And lastly, it is the Delta Sigma Theta Founders Day on January 13th. So we'll be celebrating as a chapter on that day, but our area, our region will be celebrating as a group at a later date. So of course there'll be lots of celebrations for the Divine Nine in January. J13 in particular.
So let's talk to one of the people who knows what's going on at the meetings at the Divine Nine. Andreas, spill your guts.
Yes, I am Vice President of NPHC Inland Empire. Like Darla mentioned, the MLK Walk that's going to be happening in January. If you do purchase, make a donation, purchase a t-shirt, you'll also get 4 tickets to the Agua Caliente Clipper game of Ontario. Yeah, so we're doing something different this year. So make sure that you guys find somebody so that you can register and get your t-shirt and come out and walk. It's so much fun. I enjoy those walks. That's all I know that's going on right now. We're on Christmas break, getting ready to jump right into 2023. But I will make sure I send you guys out the information. And Darla, I like to hang out with everybody. So if you guys are having something, let me know because I will show up. I will show up and hang out.
Well, I'll be at all y'all stuff anyway, as soon as my knee gets better. But the fellas wanted me to put out that, that the San Bernardino chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, every third Friday will be at Dave and Buster's, socializing, trying to get the Divine Nine together from 7 to 12 at night. So if anybody out there in the Inland Empire gets this information, feel free to show up. They're not going to always buy you drinks. Some of them cats don't be that friendly. But if I'm there, I may buy you a drink. I always buy my girls drink because they keep me happy.
Yeah.
But that's just the way we do it out here. So we're going to start targeting our people and saying that. So I want to say one thing. Darla's friend had a great party last night for a homecoming. And that was like my third, but that was my best. I met some interesting people that sometimes when you go to a party, they all just interested in the party. These guys were very intelligent and exciting. But there was a twist to the party that I have never been to one of these, and it was called a ugly sweater party. I took a sweater. I did participate in wearing it. But they voted for people with the ugliest sweaters or ugliest dress or whatever. So Darla, you got 1 minute, I believe, since I'm gonna shut up, then we'll get the station break, go out. Give us a little bit of background of where did the ugly sweater stuff come from? Oh, I'm sorry. She said I got 30 seconds now. Hold on, Darla.
I don't know where it originated, but it's so fun. It's so fun. It was my third ugly Christmas sweater party season. Played left, right, center. Never had played that before. That was a lot of fun. So shout out to my girl Tara. Congratulations on your beautiful new home. And I told her, how dare her throw her first party and it'd be better than all of mine. It was amazing.
That was amazing. Well, with that said, ladies, it's our time. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach. And this is T Rex Without a Bounds with the beautiful two ladies, Drea and Darla. And I want to say next week, we'll probably be doing our Christmas show and our then the New Year's Eve show. So we'll still be on. We might not be live, but we'll be on. So with that said, peace out, everybody. And ladies, stay fresh.
Bye.
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 Happy holidays.
Happy